Because it seems to be like in every subject that we're talking about, we got to take care of our health. How do we do that?
Absolutely. And like Carolyn was saying, is you gotta spend money on shoes. Because cheap shoes lead to, poor posture, joint issues.
Thanks for reminding me to sit up straight.
And I grew up as like wearing flip-flops and Converse, and my mom being like, "What are you doing? This is so bad for you." And I was like, "Oh, but they look cute." But you feel it when you get older, like they say. So I'm going to talk about different types of shoes and why you want to do different kinds for different things.
Love that.
I love that.
So I want to talk about the different kind of shoes that you want to use for various activities. I used to be a runner when I was younger, and then I kind of transitioned into weightlifting and circuit training, and not all shoes are created equal. So the first thing I want to talk about is running shoes and what you kind of want with those. It's different if you're running in a treadmill or are you doing trail running. But one of the things you want to look for with running shoes is cushion, because you're running on hard surfaces. You really want to help cushion your joints. And make it easier on your hips, your knees, all of that kind of goes together. So I would like to recommend the Asics NovaBlast 4. They run for about $140. You get them for men, for women. They run the gamut with sizes. Lots of cute different colors that you can choose from. And these are just a really good overall shoe for keeping your balance when you're gunning, because a lot of women have wider hips, and so you tend to run on the outsides of your feet. And so these really kind of help stabilize and balance you for running on surfaces, so your hips are in better shape for the long run. Then weightlifting. So with weightlifting, you want kind of a more stable, wider shoe. And the Nike Metcon 9 also runs $150, so about the same kind of price. And with weightlifting shoes, it's a little different. They're a little heavier. They don't have the same bounce that running shoes do, because you really kind of want to ground yourself. If you're wearing running shoes to weightlift, you often are dealing with a lack of stability, so you can't lift as heavy as you would want to. So weightlifting shoes are good for that purpose, so that you can work on, building muscle, lifting heavier weights, and not losing your balance and worrying about other things. Again, not all shoes are created equal, which then brings me to the barefoot shoe trend. This is something my fiance is really big on. I try and get him to wear nicer shoes. All he wants is the Barefoot brand. But I really like these. They're the Zero Forza trainers. These are cute. There's a lot of barefoot shoes where you're seeing all the toes. These, I think, have a better overall visual appeal, and they don't look like your common barefoot shoe. So the idea with barefoot shoes is, we're born with good posture, and your shoes can often keep you off balance. Barefoot shoes keep you more grounded. They're more flexible, so that if you're doing terrain and whatnot, your feet are actually working muscles that other shoes might not allow them to. People with high arches, there's muscles in there that are meant to be worked. And if you're wearing shoes that cushion them, your feet are kind of losing some of their power. Barefoot shoes also have a wider toe box, so that you can really kind of work on your balance. And then the idea with barefoot shoes as well is that you're more grounded, you're in tune with the earth and all of those special properties. You'll see things with grounding mats, other things that have good barefoot properties. The one thing I will say, if you are used to very cushiony shoes and you make the switch to the barefoot, they have insoles that you can also put in there for a little more cushioning while you get used to them, because it's going to be probably a harsh difference from going to your big, thick, cushiony shoes to a barefoot shoe. But in the long run, it's really good for your health. It's good for your posture. And it just kind of depends your needs, what you're looking for. But spend the money on shoes, like Carolyn said, because it really it does a lot with your posture and your overall health. And you want to keep your feet in good shape so that you can keep moving and keeping active. It's very important.
Okay, I did not know there were special shoes just for weightlifting and for women with wide hips.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a story with that. I go to Orange Theory Fitness, and it is you start off half weightlifting and then half treadmill running. And when I first started, I would see people halfway through the class change out their shoes.
Oh, wow.
And I would go, oh,
That's
you
serious.
you got money. Okay, because sometimes those shoes are pricey. But then I realized it's because the shoes definitely serve a different purpose for each point of working
I
out.
had
Yeah.
no idea. I just bought one pair of trainers and thought I could do everything and call it a day.
I mean, there are shoes that they say are better. It depends. Are you running long distances? Because
No.
also we wear our shoes for way longer than we should.
Yes,
you know,
I've
like
heard that.
there's every 6 months, or a certain amount of miles, they say you need to change out your shoes.
Yep.
I mean, I had stopped running for a long time, and then I went back in, and I had just been doing basically weightlifting.
Okay.
So my shoes were fine. And then I went to run on them, and there was no cushioning. And the next day I woke up and I felt like I was 80 years old.
Okay.
My knees were killing me. My hips were killing me because I didn't have the right shoes for running.
Wow.
So that leads me into talking about Barefoot brand.
Yes.
I'm first of all very happy to see the styles that you recommended.
Those are cute, right?
Yeah, they're cute.
I
Like
don't like
I
the other ones though.
They're
They're
I
often
have
not.
clients who tell me that they were a Barefoot brand, and I'm like,
Uh-oh.
how do we adjust from here? But those are super cute that you shared, so I am glad to see that. I have so many questions though. It sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like Barefoot brand is their strategy is to be less supportive so that you work the muscles of your feet.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's it. And it's
What if
it's
you have bad
twofold.
feet?
Well, if you have bad feet, you're
Maybe
probably gonna
Barefoot's
need
not the right-
yeah, it's probably not
Okay.
gonna be right for you.
Because you mentioned people with arches that need that because
Because you're
It
not
builds
you're not
muscles.
used to supporting it. Yeah,
Oh.
because they'll tell you need special arch
Yeah.
support, whatnot.
Yeah.
But your feet, okay, cool. So when you're wearing the shoes, you have arch support, but then if you're walking around barefoot, what happens?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's your feet are designed to walk around with no shoes.
okay.
That's how we're designed as humans, you should, it's crazy, but if you look at little babies, they're all
They spread out,
mobile
yeah.
and their toes, they can spread out. And I mean, my feet have been crammed into shoes for so long.
But pointy toe are so cute.
Let me ask you a question really off the bat here. Like, you remember many years ago, the big trend were Birkenstocks, and that's because the same
It ain't
theory.
gone.
Yeah.
And they're around. They have all kinds of different great styles, but the main theory was it allows your feet to be at their natural state so you can be grounded and do that.
Yeah.
But what I noticed is once your feet do that, they can't fit in other shoes ever again because everything spreads out. So would the barefoot sneakers offer the same kind of loss of shoeness because some of your shoes don't fit the same way anymore?
It's true, and they don't really make
Oh,
fancy
girl.
shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But you can always do. So earlier this year, I trained for a half marathon. Cool flex,
Ooh.
JC.
She an athlete.
And I had to go get new shoes because they told me you can't be running a half marathon on your cheap Nike trainers.
Yeah.
So I went and I got a shoe fitting,
Cool.
and they just roasted my toes the whole time because
Wait,
it was
tell me
just
more.
they were just like, yeah, your knees bend in when you run and your right arch is higher than the other one and your toes kind of spread out in a funky way, and it was required that I got more
So did you
special
have to have
inserts.
special shoes?
So
for
I
each-
got fitted with shoes that provide that necessary support based on my shoe and running. But when it comes to the barefoot shoe, again, that's not for working out. That's more for the day-to-day, more of just the letting your feet take a break
Okay.
as opposed to the working out. So I can see the benefits of
Is
needing
that
more
true?
support
I
for
mean,
some.
of the barefoot shoes they actually recommend for in gym training.
Really?
Yeah. Well, they're really good. A lot of weightlifters like it because also with the weightlifting shoes I was talking about. So you've got that big cushion on the bottom of running shoes, but weightlifting shoes are flat and more grounded. So your feet can spread out so that you have more stability.
To hold
And
the
so-
weights.
To hold the weights. And barefoot shoes kind of do the same
Same
thing.
thing.
They allow you to ground yourself, you know, and get that stability.
Wow.
I have to share this story. This was a long time ago and I was still living in Ohio, but I was going for a run and I see this man also going for a run. He's running towards me and I'm looking at his face and he like literally has this like face of pain. I'm like, what? Is he okay? Like, is he sad? What's happening? And as he gets closer, I see that he is actually physically running with no shoes on. Like he's taking the barefoot like to the actual literal
in the
extreme.
grass?
We were on
Was
the
it a track?
sidewalk.
On the
His feet are gonna be
sidewalk?
We were on
so
the
dirty.
sidewalk, and
That's
so
so
he
bad for
was
your
like trying to
knees.
train. I don't know. His
That's so
feet
bad
are
for
like
your
really
knees.
get like
Hence the
ancient
face.
with it. And so I am happy to inform him. Hopefully, he knows now he can get barefoot shoes
Yeah.
and get the same benefits without the pain or like the extreme lengths to go.
Do they offer any knee support, these barefoot shoes, or any other these weightlifting shoes? Because you need your hips and your knees and to support you.
Yeah, I mean, because the idea when you're lifting weights is you're stable, like
Okay.
for the most part, right? You're
Right,
not
right.
you're not jumping. You're not, you know, it doesn't provide kind of the mobility,
Okay.
you know, whereas these really help. It's really more for like grounding, so you can like get into it, lift like the heavy stuff, you know.
As long as you don't recommend those ugly toe shoes,
Oh
then
gosh, I mean they're terrible.
That's all that
People
matters
like
to me.
them.
Yeah, people like 'em, but-
We never recommend things that are ugly.
So are they wearing? I assume they're wearing no socks,
You can do both, but
or you can do the toe socks.
really you should be not wearing
Yeah.
So-
socks
Okay,
is the
makes
idea.
sense, makes sense.
That's
We'll
kind of like
see.
socks with your sandals, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever's comfortable for you.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I heard that's a Gen Z thing, wearing socks,
Socks
with
with your
sandals.
sandals?
I don't
I'll wear
know.
socks with my sandals.
Well,
Okay.
Yep.